Hey everyone out there in the land of YouTube, this is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. Today is the last day of January 2022. 31 days. So, gosh, it feels like it's been a long time because so much is going on. We are coming off the aftermath of a weekend winter storm. That was exciting. We made it through, and I have to tell you that whenever there's bad weather heading this way or something happening, whenever I ask people for prayers, it's less intense than was anticipated. So I'm here to tell you that the power of prayer works. Intention, sending good vibes, visualizing, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is that you all did, it worked again, because I asked for prayers, I think it was back in the fall, about a big storm that was coming this way. It was a hurricane. And once again, we didn't have as much damage as they were predicting. On that topic, I also want to say that a little while back, I was encouraging people to write to MSNBC to tell them that we didn't want to hear all these drama stories with woe is me, what are we going to do at the end of it? We wanted to know what to do. We wanted them to tell us what we could do. So lo and behold, I just saw on MSNBC there's a segment now that they've added called Defenders of Democracy. Was it little old me who wrote a little old letter to MSNBC? Who knows? Who knows if the prayers made the storms less? Who knows? But it doesn't hurt to just do it. So Joy Reid just had Stacey Abrams on. Grassroots of Democracy, our newly formed organization, is on board with the Stacey Abrams playbook. Right now what we're doing is we're organizing to do what they are doing in Georgia to save voting rights. We're just getting started. We're just hitting our stride. And our first project was to write to all the Fox News advertisers and tell them how we feel about what they're supporting by advertising on Fox News and what we intend to do, which is not support them and tell others not to support them, their products, their services, as long as they're advertising on Fox News, which is propagating dangerous, violent lies and propaganda and conspiracy. And they're playing Tucker Carlson in Russia. And they're siding with Russia to boot. And they're siding with people, they're putting people on there like Newt Gingrich, who said that the January 6th committee should be jailed. This is the stuff of autocracies. I want to encourage everybody to just drop everything. You can stop the video and go donate to Stacey Abrams. Just go to her website. I think it's Fair Fight. I think that's the name of the organization. But just go to Stacey Abrams and donate to the cause. We must save our democracy. It is critically important that we do not go back to sleep, because this is how autocracies happen. So, anyway, I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you enjoyed my snow pictures. It was up to almost as tall as me on the snowbanks were. It's like little mountains of snow everywhere. But we're expecting warmer temperatures, and it'll all be gone soon. So just like that, just in a wave, off the snow will go, and then we'll probably get hit a few more times. We are coming upon not only a new month tomorrow, can you believe it? Not only a new month, but also Imbolc, which is a pagan holiday of the very, 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 very beginning stirrings of spring. The Feast of St. Bridget. In the Catholic faith and the religion, I know growing up in the church, this is the time of the blessing of the throats. Gosh, wow, that was a long time ago. You know, when they'd bless your throat so you wouldn't be ill. I love the old traditions. Anyway, there was some good stuff. What I want to do is discuss with you a lot of things, but let's just start with the rally over the weekend. So I know that I mentioned before that I always watch the Trump rallies. On Saturday, I had a snow day and I was watching some movies and writing and reading and, you know, just having a snow day. And by the time nighttime rolled around, and I knew the rally was going on in Texas, and I just couldn't. So I'm taking a pass, because, not that I don't know what happened, we'll talk about that, but I'm taking a pass on watching the rally in Texas, because I've watched pretty much all the rallies. And they're heinous, and they're very Hitler-esque, and they're very authoritarian, and very scary when people cheer and cheer and cheer. I did notice, though, the little clips that I did see, the people in the audience didn't really look like they were that jazzed up. So that was just my impression. It's dangerous. It's unbelievable. And I really feel like I couldn't watch it at the time, because I sensed how evil it was going to be, and true to form, I'm kind of glad I just watched the clips, because that would have been a lot. That would have been tough. Let us be aware of what's happening. If we can't get through a whole rally, and I hope there aren't many more, but the way he's going, there might be. Let us call our senators and congresspeople and state reps and tell them he needs to be jailed in no uncertain terms. I called Elizabeth Warren today. I called Seth Moulton today in Massachusetts, and I said my piece, and I'm not done. And we're going to see if we can get Seth to speak, or one of his staff members to speak at our meetings. Our meetings for Grassroots of Democracy, which is growing fast, are Thursday nights. They're on Zoom. They're from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. Please pass the word. I haven't gotten around to asking the other psychics yet to get everyone on board, but that's on my list of things to do. So, you know, we're going to have a speaker every single week that speaks for, you know, a few minutes, like 10, 15 minutes. And last week we had a woman from Tennessee, and her name is Holly, and I think it's the Tennessee Lookout. There's lots going on. I'm trying to remember it all. Anyway, so we're gonna be informing people. We're gonna be organizing. We sent the letters, and we are sending letters to Fox News advertisers. Coming up, we're gonna be sending letters to get our buddy Louis DeJoy ousted. Louis DeJoy, I googled it, makes more money than Joe Biden, and he's already wealthy. So it's rough. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. So let's not get discouraged about the things that Trump is saying. Let's use this time to rise up. We have until November. Republicans, as we speak, are continuing to strip away voting rights. I even heard Stacey Abrams say something about a 95-year-old man who was told he couldn't vote. That makes me cry. That's too much for me. That's just too much. So let us get on board. Let us support these organizations that are saving our democracy. So when Trump got up there and he was saying the things that he was, including offering pardons if he got elected president, which he hasn't even declared he's getting in the race, and he shouldn't be allowed to get in the race. The things that he was threatening will make your hair curl. It's unbelievable. And I also noticed, reading his energy on the clips that I saw today and yesterday, I noticed that his energy is extremely disheveled. And I'm not just saying that, I'm just looking at him. And if you watch the videos, his energy is really erratic and really frenetic and very disheveled and very all over the place and extremely rageful. But I did notice the people that were listening to him, that were behind him anyway, including t-shirts that say cops for Trump, including which I can't even wrap my mind around, for what they did to the cops at the Capitol on January 6th. He's not well. And he's saying that the prosecutors and the January 6th committee and you know, Letitia James and, you know, the one in Georgia saying that they're all sick, and he's literally calling them racist. He's calling them racist. I mean, it's like there's not much better example of somebody who's projecting than that. It's tough. The toughest part is that he is running around dangerous, and a free man. So if that doesn't make you very, very upset, it should, that he's that dangerous. And there is some kind of representative in Michigan, you might know who it is, who was calling for that we must have people at the polls to protect our elections. Mind you, election fraud is a made up concept. I feel like I have to remind people of that. Maybe not you guys, but I feel like I have to remind people that election fraud was never a thing. And in this past election, it was not a thing. They couldn't find any significant cases of voter fraud except people that tried to vote twice for Trump in the villages in Florida. They just don't know any better. Anyway, there's voter fraud is not a thing. So there's some kind of representative in Michigan. I don't know what his name is. I just saw a clip of him telling people, well, we must go to the polls and we must bring arms to the polls. So he's telling people to bring guns. What are they going to do? Shoot somebody because they thought that they voted for a Democrat? Or if they saw, you know, some sign, maybe they look like, I have a little piece. Maybe if somebody shows up at the polls with a little peace sign. This came from a piece of clothing, I think. Anyway, then if they saw someone with a peace sign, maybe they would shoot him. I'm joking, but this kind of stuff happens in other countries. So let's all take a breath and promise to not go back to sleep, to pay attention. It feels much better. You don't know till you do it. When you're involved and you're taking up arms in the sense of your free speech and doing what you can. Elijah Cummings keeps popping them into my head. When you're dancing with the angels and they ask you, what did you do to save democracy? What will you say? I think he might have said that to Michael Cohen. I have to look that up. So, please join us. Let's get to the cards, shall we? We're going to look at Trump and what the aftermath of that rally will be. He needs to be jailed. And when they start talking about on any news station, when they start saying, well, he's going to run again, or if he runs again, or that's a little bit too far for me. I just turn it off. And I get back to work on Grassroots of Democracy. So here we are. Let's see how he's doing. This is a card for America. Actually, what he did was he incriminated himself to the max, even admitting that he wanted Mike Pence to overturn the election and claiming that the vice president did have a right to do that, which is not true. The interesting thing about that is what I've been saying all along. The reason, from a big, giant perspective, you know, take a step back and really look at it. The reason that soul named Donald Trump is here is that we must fight hard for our democracy. And we must strengthen the laws and get rid of this wishy-washy way that the Constitution is interpreted, and strengthen, clarify what is said. Make a stronger case for the vice president is only there on the confirmation day of January 6th, whatever day it is each year, to confirm just it's a ritualistic thing. To take away anything that even remotely sounds like he has authority to overturn the election. That's not democracy. Duh. So, but basically he claimed that he wanted Pence to overturn a fair election, a free and fair election. This is a card for the United States of America. So anyway, we're sitting pretty on top in a way. Don't rest on your laurels. We're sitting pretty in a way because he's basically saying he committed the crime, which we all know that he knows he did. It's just getting more, frequent that he's saying that he did. And I have to take a deep breath when I see him out there just admitting to all of it, and he's still a free man. I just have to take a step back and we'll ask the guides about it. This feels like the January 6th Commission. And this feels like Letitia James. This feels like actually the country rallying to help. Now, I mentioned watching movies over the weekend. I was kind of, just sitting with my dad the other day, and he mentioned the movie Gettysburg, which I had never seen. That was made in 1993. I mentioned it in my A Church of Spirituality yesterday, and so it's a 4-hour movie, but I watched the whole thing, and I'm really glad that I did. It's just phenomenal the way they recreated the battles at Gettysburg, which that was like the bloodiest battle fought on U.S. soil. And boy, Hollywood really did a great job. Jeff Daniels is in it, and Martin Sheen plays Lee. And it's just amazing when you look at, that's this really pivotal time in the United States history. And as you know, astrologers are saying where Pluto is, not an astrologer, but where Pluto is now is very much like where it was during the Civil War. Well, let me tell you something. Let's think about this. The South wanted slavery to keep being the law of the land. And the North recognized that we cannot enslave human beings. I mean, hello. So the North, the Union, was standing for, we can't enslave people. We can't have people be slaves. What are you guys thinking? We have to stop this. And after the bloodiest of battles, by a slim margin, the Union won and the slaves were freed. The North stood on principle. We cannot enslave our fellow brothers and sisters, which is a very spiritual idea. The South disagreed. Nothing against people that live in the South. Believe me, I spent 11 years in Tennessee. There's some beautiful people everywhere. I'm just saying, they fought and fought and fought, and human rights won. Human rights won. Democracy won. Civil rights movement wasn't easy. God is on our side. Spirit, the higher power, is on our side. And not to wax all religion on you, because I don't mean to. You've heard the saying, the Lord helps those who help themselves. Well, the higher power is going to help those who step in and help to save our democracy. We got to jump in. We've got to jump in, people. We've got to jump in. It's not my organization. The Grassroots of Democracy does not belong to me. I just coined the term and organized the meetings. It's up to all of us. We just need a place to meet and organize. Okay, so let's take a look at some other things. Ron DeSatan, okay, he can't be Ron DeSantis anymore because he's now Ron DeSatan, is actually pushing a bill, I don't know how far he got, that forbids kids from talking in gay language. I guess they're forbidden to say the word gay or that they're gay, and this is unbelievable. This is not who we are. This is just an unspeakable horrificness. But these Republicans are doing unspeakable horrificness. And you know what? If it wasn't so extreme, we might be less motivated. If you're gay or you know somebody who is gay or, who cares, right? Who cares? It's none of anybody's business anyway. I'm speechless. Let's see how his anti-gay bill is going to go. I'm wondering who they're trying to appeal to. Because it's certainly not the kids. Banning books. I mean, come on. I mean, how extreme they're being really is a motivator. Once again, I'm getting the star card. Interesting, because this is a card for the United States. Mariana Revealing Light called the star card that, and it resonated with me, so I call this the card for the United States. The United States is going to get stronger. And when I was talking about the big picture of why Trump is, came onto the scene, the guides keep showing it to me like this. We're sharpening our knives, and that is not literal, of course. I just think of the Ace of Swords. We're sharpening our communication. With a sharp knife, you can cut things more cleanly. We're refining our democracy. We're getting to a place where we're going to make sure that these terrible things cannot happen in this country. We need to stand as an example to the rest of the world that democracy works. It was founded here, and we are stewards of our democracy. And I know I'm going on about it, but that's the purpose for this platform, is we have to do something. Okay? So America prevails. Run to Satan. You're trying to tell people who they can love and not love. Does anyone know who he's trying to appeal to? I don't understand. This is the Queen of Swords. There's a woman in Florida who's running against DeSantis. And I see the lovers are in the background here. So this is the Queen of Swords who's going to cut through all the BS that he's dishing out. Now, what we're going to see in a lot of cases is we're going to see bills passing. I want everyone to think about it as temporary. Temporary until we intervene and fight back. So it's kind of like they present their case and then we present our case en masse in huge numbers. Numbers too big to count, that kind of thing. The Queen of Cups. I feel like the teachers are going to have some sort of litigation with Ron DeSatan, that they're going to be able to step in and to stop this madness. It's total madness. Total madness. Total madness. All right. Now let's take a look at his, how Ron DeSatan's plan to have police, military police at the polls, how that's going. How his plan to do that is going. I think Ron DeSantis is about as angry as Trump is right now and as revengeful because, he's the one that wanted that monocloidal, whatever they call him, monocloidal, I don't know, I can never remember what that is. Anyway, he invested in the stocks to have this monocloidal something to treat COVID. So he wanted people to get COVID, so they need this treatment. And then he would make all this money. It's all out there. He would make all this money. And then, as it turns out, the COVID knew what he was up to, and COVID doesn't like DeSatan. So COVID, they all those little viruses, they got together and they went, let's change and see what he does. Let's piss him off. That's just my, I can see it in a little cartoon. Let's change, and then it won't work. Those monocloidal antibodies will not work, and then he'll be really mad. that's my COVID virus voice. What's gonna happen with him? Well, this is Ron DeSatan's. What is it that he's doing? He's lashing out because he's so mad that he missed out on the money. So this is the COVID card. he's going to keep trying to push it. He's going to keep trying to push it. I have to look up whether that Surgeon General, who was a total scam con guy, telling dangerous, dangerous lies, if he actually got in. I'll look it up, but if you know, put it in the comments. If he actually got in as a Surgeon General. Well, this is interesting. I actually see Florida rising up against DeSatan. Very interesting. I don't think it's going to go very well. Oh, so anyway, so the military police is what we were asking about. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Let's pick a few more cards about that because I kind of got off the topic a little bit. The military police. I was just saying that he's in a bad place right now because that's not going to work. Pushing a treatment that doesn't work anymore on the new strains of the virus is really, it's bad for him. So he's just mad about that. So let's see how his military police thing is going to work out. Well, let me ask the pendulum. Military police at the polls in Florida. Is that actually going to go into effect? No, he's just blowing smoke. Don't rest on your laurels, but Ron DeSatan is just blowing smoke about these military police. I feel like the actual military in some way is going to intervene and say you can't do that. Because I'm seeing the Four of Pentacles, which is discussions about what he's doing. And I keep seeing females coming in and having some words with Mr. DeSatan. The female power is definitely making some changes in our country, definitely. Let's see what's going on with the Trump family. Let's take a look real quick at Ivanka, how she's doing right now. Let me ask the guides about her. The guides are showing me Ivanka being very close-lipped. Now, I don't know if she's gonna like plead the fifth like Eric did, like when he sat there and he was in a deposition or something and he just said, I plead the fifth 500 times. I don't know that I've ever said something 500 times over and over unless it was an affirmation. Let's see what's going to happen with Ivanka. I feel like she and Jared are in major trouble overseas. Broken international law. This is Ivanka and Jared right now. I'm actually feeling a little more optimistic now that I'm reading, because it looks like the United States is getting stronger. It looks like the people are getting stronger. So when I think about how many people with Grassroots of Democracy and the other organizations that we're linking up with and all the psychics, all their viewers, it's a lot of people. In fact, I mentioned it to somebody at my state rep's office today, and he was like, wow, really? So yeah, interesting. So Ivanka, okay, the Five of Cups, actually I'm seeing regrets. I'm seeing like a lot of surprise on Ivanka's part, like a lot of like, really, I could get in that much trouble? Like she was just flying blind. She didn't understand how much trouble she could get in. Just like her father, she has no concept of, oh, this could, I always said about Trump, he doesn't consider consequences, possible consequences to his heinous behavior. She has a lot of lawsuits and a lot of prosecution coming at her, Ivanka. Yeah, and so does Jared. Interesting. Let's see. I'm going to ask the pendulum. Is Jared Kushner going to prison? I think he's going to prison. I do see that. It's just a little yes. Is Jared Kushner going to try to leave the country? No. Probably no one would take him. Is Ivanka going to jail? Is Ivanka Trump going to jail at some point? No. Okay. Interesting. Is Ivanka Trump going to be under house arrest? Yes. Ivanka Trump under house arrest is what I see. Okay. Is Ivanka Trump is she going to squeal on her father? It's saying no right now. Is she going to... See, before I got that she would. Is Ivanka Trump going to answer questions about her father? She's going to answer questions about her father, but she's going to answer as few as possible. Yeah, she's going to answer questions. When I said squeal, it's kind of like, is she going to spill all the beans? She's not going to spill all the beans. Interesting. Okay. Let's take a look at Don Jr. We're just going to take a look at Don Jr. We're going to look at a few cards and see like how he's feeling right now. Oh, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, we are doing a show, Corey and I, this week. It's going to be Wednesday or Thursday. We haven't nailed down a date, but I will definitely keep you posted. Literally, keep you posted. Okay, so... I'm just seeing a karma card. This is a karma card. So there's some stuff coming back. Stuff coming back to haunt the Trumps. 10 of Cups. It's a lot of information. Ace of Pentacles. The United States wins. The guides just keep saying the United States wins. Huh. I'm not really sure why I keep getting that, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's go to Russia. Let's all go to Russia. Let's all board a plane and go to Russia. What do you say? Would you like that? That'd be fun. You like my hearts? It's almost February. Okay. Let's look at Don Jr. I know I was just going to do that, but I got a little sidetracked. Okay, Don Jr. How is he doing right now? Ah! Cards falling on the floor. Hang on. They feel significant. Don Jr. Ooh, he's really got some problems with alcohol. He put out a video recently, and he was sloshed. He was sloshed. I mean, it's like, why do people do that? I mean, especially when you have that many people that will watch it. Jeez. Was he drunk when he put it up there, when he posted it? This is Don Jr. right now. All right, is Don Jr. going to jail? Is Donald Trump Jr. going to jail? Oh, it looks like he is. We shall see. I know we want to ask about Senior. We want to ask about Don Senior. So let's just, like, whether he's going to jail. Is the DOJ going to come down on Donald Trump? Just is the DOJ going to come down on Donald Trump? I'm getting a yes. Let's ask again. Is the DOJ going to come down on Donald Trump? Let's take a look at that. The Department of Justice, are they going to come down on Donald Trump, especially after yesterday? Jeez, I mean, Saturday, that horrible rally. Quickly, the world is watching. They have so much against him. It's amazing. Quickly. Now, I know it's a relative term. I'm just telling you what the cards are saying. Well, the FBI is now protecting the woman in Georgia I didn't write her name down. And they're getting him for voter fraud, basically. Interfering with the election interference. As the FBI moves in on Georgia and has to protect the Attorney General there and all that's going on. I just feel America shifting. I feel America shifting. I feel like we've had enough. We need to catch a break. Good Lord, do we need to catch a break? If you're paying attention, you know, if you really are paying attention, like I hope you all are, it's like, wow, it's one thing after another, and it's been that way for 5 years. 5 years, 6 years? Crazy. We're going to Russia now. We're going to go to Russia and see what's going on there. Oh my gosh, it's like stagnant, stalemate energy, and I don't want them to, obviously, to invade Ukraine, but it just feels very stuck. Russia feels very, Vlad, not Russia, not the Russian people. Vladimir feels very stuck being on the border there, like damned if you do, damned if you don't, kind of. Between a rock and a hard place. You know, this looks like the United States, and I know it's not going well in terms of talking about it. Both sides are going to suffer a loss, Ukraine and Russia. And when it's recognized by Vladimir Putin that this isn't worth it, then obstacles are overcome. Okay, let's ask this pendulum. Is he going to actually invade Ukraine? Is Vladimir Putin gonna? I've been getting no all along. The price is too high. The price for him, because he's such a malignant narcissist sociopath. But so he won't get what a sociopath is out to get, which would be ultimate power and control. I actually feel like the Ukraine is getting strong militarily, and I feel like NATO ganging up on Vladimir Putin is gonna make a big impact. So let me look at that a little bit more. House of Cards. The guys just said House of Cards. It's gonna fall. It's going to be tense. It's going to be I've always seen a scuffle on the border of Russia and Ukraine. It's going to be tense. It's going to be challenging. But I think his plan is going to fall apart. The guys just said he would have done it by now. Something's holding him up. Something's holding Putin up from, gosh, it's like he just... There's a real threat. I feel like on all sides, no matter which way he turns with this, you know, invading Ukraine, I feel like no matter which way he turns, it's like there's no winning. There's no winning. He just loses. I just have to pick 3 more cards about it. They're playing Tucker Carlson on Russian television to sway the Russians. But the Russians aren't that stupid. It's just like here. Maybe some of them are gullible, but this is exactly the card. It's exactly the energy that I'm picking up on with Vladimir Putin. This is like, I don't know which way to turn. This is like painfully indecisive. Being painfully indecisive. Is he a Scorpio? I have to look that up. I don't know. I'm sure I can find out easily enough. Yeah, I mean, these cards are not pointing to an invasion. The cards are pointing to Vladimir Putin as finding out that there's no way he can win this. And getting in that stuck place and like, little scuffle and that's it. And I feel like the blood, you know, the blood reserves that he's sending in for the battle. It's 2022. Can you believe we're still here? I feel like that he's bluffing. I still feel like he's bluffing. Anyway, but I feel like there'll be a little something, but still. It's just bluffing. Yeah, crazy, man. Just crazy stuff. Let's look at one more thing before we call it a night. It is nighttime here. It's like 8:45. Let's look at by the way, Friday Night Live is going to be happening again, so that's when I do a reading with you all live, and some people don't like it because it's scattered, but hi I do what I can. I do what I can, and it's free, so no complaining. You're all wonderful. Don't get me wrong. There's just a couple complainers, and it's like, you know, most people don't complain. What are we asking about? I know there's something. There's so much. He's sending blood to the border. What is that about? I know. I'm just going to pick 3 more. I'm trying to get into Vladimir Putin's head. Well, here you go. He's deceiving himself. He's being foolish. Putin is being absolutely foolish. And this looks like Ukraine winning. I think that might be it for tonight. If you'd like to ask a question, you can certainly put a question in the comments. I'll read through them. As I told you before, I don't comment much because I don't want to play favorites, but I do read your comments. That's it for tonight. Oh, happy new moon. New moon is, let's see, tonight in the wee hours of the morning, and new moon in Aquarius. It's going to be a gangbusters month. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. I feel like there's going to be a lot of good stuff going on. And remember what I said at the beginning. MSNBC is now having a segment of at least Joy Reid's program, Defenders of Democracy. So who knows? Maybe they got other people writing to them going, tell us what to do, like I wrote. Please contribute to Stacey Abrams, contribute to organizations that are supporting and fighting for our democracy. Demand Justice is one. Act Blue is another one. Move On is another one. And please encourage everybody to stay aware and to take action. Grassroots of Democracy at gmail.com is where you write if you want to join us. The meetings are every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, and we end right on time. And if you'd like to book a reading, it's AnnetteDionPsychic at gmail.com. And please be patient, because gratefully I have a waiting list now. That's all I have for you. Have a great couple of days. I'll be back on Wednesday. Namaste.